Hi there and welcome to Thursdays with Annette. So glad you're joining me. Now, on last week's show, I was in the kitchen and I had three fabulously excited women who won book 6. So let's shout out to Lynette Robertson, Amy Dunning and Ingrid Krantis. They're super busy about their prize. So it's in the mail, girls, and I personally signed it for you. But on today's show, I wanted to talk about women's health and well-being. Now, tomorrow, which is Friday, is International Women's Day. And I just researched it and I want to read it to you because I thought, what is actually International Women's Day? So it says here, International Women's Day is annually held on March the 8th to celebrate women's achievements throughout history and across nations. It's also known as the United Nations Day for Women's Rights and International Peace. And I think as a woman, we crave peace more than anything else, don't we, girls? So this show is a little bit dedicated to my girls out there, the wives, the mothers, the aunties, the grandmothers, the cousins, or whatever it is, those beautiful females that may need some support and tips from me today. So I hope you've got pen and paper because I've got some great suggestions that I'd love to give you, and I hope that you can implement them in your life to make life easier. So one of the things I really think that with women is we deal with a lot of pressures. You know, everyday living, you know, looking after our family and focusing on work and whatever. But we really need to make sure we're still focusing on our health and well-being. Now, as a wife, a mother and a businesswoman, you know, you can be challenged. And one of the areas that can get forgotten about is your weight. And this can show when you're gaining weight because you just got no time for you and you're just too busy with everyone else. So I've got some tips for you today and I hope they help you. So let's start with 5 really simple basic tips that I just think really help me get through my week. Now, the first thing is I menu plan. You know, I just don't go into the kitchen at 6 o'clock and go, what can we have? Now, admittedly, it's only me and Billy at home now, but even still, I want to have a decent dinner and I don't want to be dialing out for a pizza because we haven't thought about it. So what I did to help myself with that is I write up my week. Now, I brought this to show you because this is what's in my kitchen. I got this board from Kmart a little while ago. And so what I do, I write down the menu for the week. And this is our week here. I'm a bit excited about dinners tonight. But if you can see here, Sunday was pepper fish with salad, spaghetti bone salad, Mexican meatloaf. I mean, that's that new one. That's just delicious. And I'm just going to do some veggies with that. I had that, last night. Chicken pizziola, and I'm just going to do wok veggies to go with that tonight because I want to have veggies. Salmon, fresh salmon with Italian potatoes and a salad. I'm really excited about that. And then, of course, Saturday night for us is leftover night or freezer night, so we're going to have some spaghetti. I've already got it in the fridge ready to go, and I really like spaghetti bowl. And then Sunday's a stir fry and it's Penang chicken, and I'll use the basmati rice with that. So I can now, because of this list, I can shop ahead, I can prep ahead if I want, and that's my next tip. So really try and think about writing up your menu for the week because it really helps you focus on what do you need to shop, what do you need to prepare, and that way you've got a dinner prepared and you're not missing out. Now, the second tip, I've got 5 tips for you, right? The first one, menu planning. Second one is prepare ahead. And this is what I did on Sunday night. I had a little bit of time, and when I wrote up the menu and that, and I remembered I had some fish because we were supposed to eat it on Sunday and we didn't get time. So I had something else that was left over, but I did the pepper fish. So on Monday, I just had to, you know, make a bit of salad and, you know, cook the fish. So it was a really easy dinner. And so this is really important because you can do prep ahead for the week if you get time. On the weekend, maybe you might decide to do a bake day every few weeks, and this is where you can make your muffins and pikelets and other different things that you can take as morning or afternoon tea, especially if you're packing school lunches. This will really help you be that bit more organised. And a lot of the baked goods are perfect frozen. You know, I find that I always have a batch of pikelets in the freezer because you pop them out and put them in the microwave and they've just been baked or just been cooked. So they're fantastic. So think about that. Now, the third is live by your diary. I find that I hate to miss an appointment. I hate to be late. And my thing to do that is every morning I get up and I get my mobile phone out and I put all my alarms in. And I might have 10 in the day, but you know what? Like I've got a 3 o'clock appointment today and I want to make sure I'm on time for that. So I put that in this morning. And what I find with that is it means I can forget about it. I don't have to be going, oh my gosh, what time's that appointment? I mustn't forget this. And I find it really helps. And the other thing with your diary, you know, you don't want to get in a flap over things. So being organised with it and sticking with it will really help you, like putting your exercise in there. It's really important to make sure you have that time each week. And by putting it in your diary, I kind of feel it just makes it more of a done deal and it's an appointment with yourself. Now, the fourth one is a big one. It's called delegate. That's right. This is something that I learned a while ago, and it kind of just gives you so much release when you feel that you're not being overwhelmed by having to do everything. And, you know, as women, we tend to take on a lot more than we probably should. And I think by looking at it, how I worked it out was I go, okay, what is it that Annette can only do? Like, what is it that I need to do, and I do that. And then I look at all the other things and go, okay, well, this person can help me with that, and I can get someone to come in and do my cleaning, for example. Things like that. Just delegate. I mean, get your family involved, especially, you know, say to them, okay, you're doing Thursday night's dinner, you know, and delegate some of the kitchen chores. You don't have to be the font of everything. You don't have to be anyone's slave. So come on, let's say that word. Delegate. It can be done. It really is important. Now, the fifth one is be healthy. Now, obviously, I'm going to say that because I'm all about health and well-being, and especially for us girls, because we can sometimes be low in magnesium and iron and even zinc, and it can really affect our stamina. And where I would ask you to look at is, what are you giving your body? Like, what are you fueling your body with? Because when you give it high-fat food, greasy food, stodgy food, you know, if you're lots of alcohol and different drugs and things like that, it really is not going to be great for your body. And so when you eat something or you take something, think about it. Is this going to support me in a positive way, or is it a negative? So really look at that and ask yourself, is this good for me? Because your body's like your temple. I mean, if you don't look after it, you know, you really, and then you get sick and then you're no good for anyone. And, you know, you can't get to work and things like that, so everything crumbles. So you are a very important person. And I think that's the key that I want to go to next, that you are so important and you need to look after yourself. You know, you need to make sure you're a priority. And, you know, yes, we're caring for other people now, but you've got to make sure that you're caring for yourself as well. Now, I've got 5 tips for you here to discuss this. So, let's look at the first one. It's a biggie. Put yourself first. Oh my gosh, I bet if you're saying, oh, Annette, that's so selfish of you to say that. Well, do you know what? I think it's actually not selfish. I think it's selfless. Let's say that together. It's not selfish, it's selfless, because you are important. You know, you need to put yourself first in life, because if you're, as I said before, if you're sick or you're struggling and you're cranky and miserable and tired all the time, how good are you to anyone else? So by looking after you, then that flow goes out to others, and your family and friends will really love it if you're looking after yourself as well, because I think that's really important. Remember, let's say it again. It's not selfish, it's selfless. Good job. Now, the second one is nourish your body. Now, we did talk about, you know, what you fuel your body with and being healthy, but at this time, I want you to really think about your connection with food. Like, do you use food as a comfort? You know, or when you're tired, you grab chocolate. So what you've got to look at is other ways to nurture yourself that doesn't involve food. Because food's just food. It's not going to make your day better or make your husband more handsome. It really is food, and it needs to be good food to help keep you energized and fabulous. And I think that, you know, look at that food, as I said before. Is it a positive food or is it a negative food? and question it. Like, you know, because I did that when I started to lose my weight. You know, you might think, you know, well, this is how I've always done it. Like we used to get takeaway pizza on a Friday night, and suddenly when Annette went healthy, that went out the window, and I thought, well, does that mean I can't have pizza anymore? So I made up my own pizza recipes, and we used to have the homemade ones, which are in book 1, and they're fabulous. So this is it. You don't have to say, no, I can't have that, but how can I do it a healthier, more nurturing way that's a positive influence on my health and well-being? And that's important for you. Now, the third one is know that you're enough. And I think that we all can struggle with this. I mean, you know, I think we can be so harsh in the way we speak to ourselves. Sometimes when you catch yourself when you're saying something really nasty and mean to yourself, like, oh, you're hopeless, or you can't do this, or you're stupid, and ask yourself, would you say that to your best friend? No. Why wouldn't you say it to them? Well, it's because you'd hurt them. And yet here you are hurting yourself and thinking it's okay. Well, it's not. And the key here as well is knowing that you're enough as you are. I mean, we are perfectly imperfect. No one's perfect. And I really struggle with a lot of this stuff on Facebook and social media, where you're seeing all the good sides of everybody, but then you don't see that they might have started up the day, you know, looking a bit different to what they put their photos on Facebook. Because I think we're getting an unrealistic expectation about ourselves and how we present ourselves to the world. I think that the key is know that you are enough, because you are. You know, and I remember when I was overweight, I sort of thought, well, I'm fat, so I'm not enough. But I was. I mean, I'm still the same Annette. I just weigh less. And that's the thing, you are everything you need to be right now. And if you want to lose some weight, well, that's something you work on, but it's not about changing who you are. I'm still the same person I was then. I'm just probably a little bit happier about being in, you know, a healthy weight range, because I feel healthier, I've got more energy. There's so many bonuses to really looking after yourself that you'll see once you start on this, if you haven't been doing it. Now, the fourth one is speak positively to yourself. You know, this is really important. You know, when I said before, you know, like, think about what you say, and it's really important to know that your words can really attack. And I'm talking about what you say to yourself, remember. And the key here is, when you think about it, you know, would you think about the words that you say to anyone else? And like, I just think, don't do it. It's really important to take that beautiful positivity of who you are and run with it. And I always say to people, you know, if I'm too fabulous for you, then that's not my problem. And I mean, maybe we should say that. Let's say that together. If I'm too fabulous for you, it's not my problem. And it's really about that. Look, just be happy with who you are. You know, live positively within who you are, and know that you're enough, as I said before. So this is really important for you stepping forward, especially when you want to live a healthy life, because it then means I validate time for eating well, exercising, you know, doing things for myself that makes me feel good, and I don't have guilt over it. And I think that's a good thing. Like, don't be saying to yourself, oh, you don't deserve that. Yes, you do. Absolutely. Now, the fifth one is an easy one, I think. Aim to have a happy day. So when you wake up in the morning, you know, you might go, well, I don't think today's going to be a great day. How about you think about what you've got to be happy about? And if you think, well, I don't have much to be happy about, well, you do, because I'm sure you've got water in your tap. You turn it on and it's not, you know, bad water. It's like in Africa where they can't drink their water. We are lucky in Australia. We have so many things that we just often just take for granted, like a roof over our head, a bed to sleep on. There's food in the fridge. So think about, there's always things you can look at in your day and think, well, this is a positive thing. And I think that the key is there is not to own being a victim, and instead think about being a victor. You know, like, think about victory, you know, winning things in life. And I think that's, you know, really how I kind of look at the day and think, okay, what have I got to look forward to today? And there's always things that you can find about the day that will be good. And I think that's where you skip through the day a little bit better, when you focus on the positive. And I always say, think about what you want, not what you fear. and that will really help you. Now, the key here though is I want you to be that role model to your daughters, your granddaughters, to your nieces, to your female colleagues at work. I want you to show them that being healthy and fabulous is easy, and look how you live. And I think it then represents you in a really positive way. And this way, then they can look on and go, well, if she can do it, so can I. And I think that's really important, to be a positive role model to the girls in your life as well. I think that's really important. So let's just go recap over that, because I've hit you with a lot. The first 5 tips was menu plan, prepare ahead, live by your diary, get those alarms in your phone, or just make sure you have little post-it notes wherever you can. Delegate. You're no one's slave here, darling. You can ask people, and often it's when you ask that people are really happy to say, yeah, I can do that for you, but you have to ask in the first place. The 5th one was being healthy, and of course you've got my cookbooks, hopefully. I've got some fantastic people on my mentoring program right now, and it's not too late for you to start in there, because we've just started a challenge and I really want you to be a part of it. So go to www.simplytoogood.com.au and you'll see there's a section there where it says membership. Click onto that and go and check it out, because it really is a time to think about you. And I think with this mentoring program, you'll have lots of support, because sometimes we do feel as women that we are doing it all on our own, and that's not what this program is about. We've got our closed Facebook group where we are nurturing and loving each other. I went live last night for an hour of questions and that, and oh my gosh, they're fabulous. So if any of you are watching from the group, hello. I just am enjoying watching your success, even at this early stage. So just remember, go into the website, www.simplytoogood.com.au, because there you'll see you get menu plans, you get support. There's so much going on. I mean, when you think about it, it's not just about the food. There's some emotional things that, as we talked about, like put yourself first, remember. Nurture your body, look at the positive, the negatives. Know that you are enough, exactly. Speak positively to yourself and aim to have a happy day. And I think that through this mentoring program, a lot of people are realising that they're important and they should be looking after themselves, which is absolutely right for all of us. And if you're a guy watching today, this applies to you too, honey. I'm not trying to just cut you out from the show, but it is International Women's Day tomorrow, and I thought it was a really appropriate time to talk about how to support women in life, because we all need it. And being a little grandmother here, I'm nurturing my little granddaughters. I've got 4 of these little beautiful girls, and I can see that this generation that's growing up are going to have a great attitude. I think we've got lots to teach them. So what am I going to give away for this week's show? Let's think about it. I know I want to give you the chance to try my shakes if you haven't already. So if you want to win a box of the shakes, they're worth $39. I'm going to pick 3 lucky winners from the show this week, and you can get to try them, because this is what I do every morning. I have a shake, and it's so quick and easy for me. I just love it. I get on with my day, and if you're a busy person, this might be your answer, especially of an afternoon. I find that really helpful. So how do you win it? Well, you share, and then in the comments, hello, hashtag Simply Too Good. That's right. Write it the way it is, because you can only get picked if you write it correctly. It's not S-I, it's S-Y-M-P-L-Y, number 2 good. And you can go in the draw to win a box of shakes. That's exciting, isn't it? I mean, who knew weight loss could be so deliciously healthy? I mean, my breakfast is so phenomenal. I have it every day. I never get sick of it. Even on the weekend, I don't even bother. I just love it so much. So, maybe it's worth a try for you. Now, next week's show, I'm going to be back in the kitchen, my favourite busy place, and I'm going to be making a recipe that my mum loves. It's her favourite. She's nearly 90 and she hasn't been real well at the moment, so let's send her lots of love. But I'm going to make the chicken and spinach lasagna. Now, it's a little bit of a different take on lasagna. I mean, obviously, it's the lasagna with the sheets and everything, but it's an interesting recipe and I think you're going to love it. So stay tuned next week, because I'm going to be in there cooking that. So thanks for joining me. I really appreciate your time today, and I will catch you next week. And remember, go to the website simplytoogood.com.au for any more recipes or more tips if you need them. So see you next time. Bye now.